All right, so I have my pieces cut out. You can see nearby the legs, the head, my sketches over here, my oval for my body. What I'm gonna do now is start actually attaching these. So the first thing I wanna do is I have my sketch here where I planned on where those are going to get attached. So I want the legs to go onto here, but in a way that they're going to stay. So what I'm gonna have to do is cut slots and tabs on these. So I might want to go ahead and put lines where I plan on cutting those. So I'm going to do one here on the oval and then one towards the back end on the oval. But then I'm going to go ahead and do the slot here in the middle, okay? That way later I plan on cutting those and actually joining them this way. So I'm going to do the same thing with the set of back legs there. Now the cardboard is thicker, so if I just make a slice and try to slide it together, not gonna work. Because of the thickness of the cardboard here, since it's not paper, I actually have to accommodate that when I cut those slots. So that's where it gets a little tricky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut on the line, then I'm gonna make a cut parallel to that, which we know that word, that's the one that Mr. Bowson taught us back in 2nd grade. All right. So here I have that strip that I can take, and I'm just gonna pull that out of there, okay? I'm gonna do the same thing down here. So if you notice, I've actually made a slot there that will accommodate the cardboard. So when I try to stick cardboard in there, if I just take the scrap piece, it actually fits right in there, but I don't want it to be able to flop around. I want it to be able to lock in place. So I'm gonna cut the same slots. I'm gonna go ahead and do this one on the back end, but I'm gonna cut these same slots with spaces in them on the legs as well. All right, and I don't want one end of his legs to be sticking up off the ground later. So if you'll notice, I'm trying to make them the same length. So trying to do that here with these, making them the same length. So I'm gonna cut here, and then here. And I think you guys can predict I'm gonna do the other one the same way. So instead of boring you with that, I'm gonna go ahead and see, does it work? All right, did my plan work? So I'm gonna take this, and when I slide this together, I don't wanna just stop at the end here. So I'm gonna back these up. You can see there's the end of the cuts almost, but now I want them, instead of just stopping at the end of the cut, I actually want them to slide together so that they're locked into position. So I'm gonna take that and slide that in there, okay? So he can stand up on one side, right? Oh, doesn't really work without the other legs. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this side. So I'm gonna cut this and then do a line parallel to it. And you're trying to do it really skinny. You need to give yourself a gap for the cardboard, but if it's too big, it's not gonna slide together and lock together, which is our goal. So I've gotten rid of that. Now, I'm gonna slide that past the ends of the cut. So your cardboard's not gonna like that much. It's a little piece of cardboard. So yeah, I'm sitting here fighting with it, but I think I'm gonna win. All right, so if you can see, I'm pushing it together. And then this one's kind of wobbling around, so obviously that could go a little further. When you are pushing that together, you wanna look at like, well, how, like I don't want one further than the other one. Here, they're all at the same place. So now he actually stands up. Now this could turn into a lot of things, but if I'm sticking with my plan, I'm doing the lion. So here's the shape for the head. Oh, that made a noise. Obviously, if I just try to glue this on there, there's not much for it to actually attach to. So I'm gonna show you guys in the next clip how to make a separate joint for the neck that will let the head, because obviously I can stick it on this way, like, oh look, he's turned and he's looking at us, but that's just not as cool. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how to make another tab. So you wanna find a scrap piece from cutting instead of like having to cut out a whole nother piece. This scrap piece, if I could somehow get this on there and then to stick out to attach this to it. Okay, so I'll show you that in the next clip.